just beautiful. Welcome to Lofoten, the island's just at the northwest of Norway inside the Arctic Circle. It's been quite an epic journey to get here today. We were up at 5, didn't sleep last night at all. About a 2.5 hour journey down to Heathrow, flight to Oslo, and then a flight from Oslo to Harstad, tiny little airport, and then a 2-hour drive from Harstad to a cabin, lodge, cottage here on the edge of a fjord, which hopefully tomorrow you'll be able to see. And I'm here, of course, to photograph the Northern Lights, and I think you can probably see that relatively faint green arc behind me. As we were arriving, it was just getting dark, and about half an hour later that started to pop up. It really took off about an hour ago, got really bright, almost overhead. Some curtains that were dancing quite nicely as well, and hopefully got some decent time lapse of that. But it's so still here. It's so quiet. We've got Venus just setting behind the mountains over there. Hopefully you can see that. I've got the other camera actually at 50mm, time-lapsing that as it's set, and about 20 minutes ago I had a nice kind of green curtain aurora going through it, so hopefully that time-lapse will turn out quite nicely. Orion is just setting over to the west there. You can just see Betelgeuse still. We've got the Pleiades just up to the northwest, west-northwest, dropping down nice and low, and we've got about a 45% waxing moon, which perhaps isn't ideal to watch the aurora with, but actually what I'm finding is it's lighting up the landscape quite nicely. I don't know if you can see on the camera there, those curtains are starting to, or pillars are starting to form there, just behind that mountain. But it's so still. It's really cold as well. So the car, just as we turned up here, was saying it was minus 16 degrees C. That's colder than Cambridgeshire, that's for sure. That was 2.5 hours ago or so, so it's probably a bit colder now. But thankfully, mercifully, it's not windy tonight, because I'm all out of layers. I've got 3 thermals, a mid-layer, a pretty chunky fleece, a down jacket, and then this outer shell jacket on, a schnood, nice warm hat, pretty inadequate photographer's gloves, thermal trousers, fleece trousers over the top of those, 2 pairs of decent socks and some thick boots. And it's not warm, but my goodness is it beautiful. Wow. So what I can see at the moment, I mean it's quite a quiet night for the Northern Lights, to be honest. There's the green arc relatively low to the northern horizon at the moment. That'll probably lift again a few times tonight, I would think. When it got brighter earlier, particularly over towards the east that way, it got like readily green to the naked eye, and was really quite bright and obvious. You could probably be forgiven for overlooking what's over on the horizon there at the moment. but it'll get brighter. It's early days. Looking forward to a few nights of doing this. Okay, so it's time to set up a time lapse using the newer motorized slider. I'm going to try and get down this hill a bit. The snow is waist deep. I'm going to try and get down a little bit so I can get some nice motion in front of some of these small trees, but I'll just get this thing set up first. Okay, so this could be a little bit clumsy as I descend this snowdrift to try to set up a motion time lapse of the aurora behind a small tree down there. So I hope I don't end up rolling down this hill and this video gets used as evidence somewhere. Let's see. Crikey, that's deep. Oh, that's very deep. Oh wow. Goodness. Oh, sugar me. Right. I think that's about. That's ridiculous. Right. Let's try and set this. I think I've just worked out this is a snowdrift. Not a solid ground. Right, it's better there. Good. Right. I'm not convinced this is possible here. The snow is up to my thighs. Well, I'm glad I did persevere and the aurora kicked off again, and whilst I messed up my settings, hopefully I got a pretty decent sequence. Hope you like it. Come on, keep coming. That's so cool. I'm assuming you can see that. We've got this really bright arc that's very clearly green to the eye, coming up in the east, kind of going through Cygnus there, almost cutting Cygnus and Lyra in half, stretching all the way down, and there's this really strong pillar over there. In fact, I might swing the camera around so you can see that too. Look at that, glorious around there, and then bosh, look at that bright pillar over there, the stuff that's happening behind that mountain. You've got the moon lighting up the landscape. Oh, I think we'll just take all that in for a bit. The whole sky pretty much is turning luminous. So not green everywhere, definitely not green everywhere, but definitely not dark either. Definitely worth pouring a cup of tea. Oh, so bright over there. So bright, just above that little triangular mountain over there. The whole sky's filling up. Oh, this is so cool. So I've got a motion time lapse going on down there. It's the one you saw me as I fell down the bank. I had set up another time lapse with the 24mm, but the intervalometers run out of battery and I don't have any AAAs in my case here. I've got some back in the cottage, but I don't want to wake everyone up. Except they'd love to see this, wouldn't they? Oh, it's kicking off up here. Swing the camera around again. There's an amazing luminous band just going right over my head, cutting straight through the plough. It comes up from the east there through. We come in front of the camera. So it's getting super bright now. We've got this bright patch here coming up, sort of dissecting Cygnus and Lyra, and then it bifurcates and you've got one relatively narrow but very bright arc that goes directly overhead, cutting through the plough and going off down where Gemini is. I guess that's Procyon over there as well, kind of curving off gradually to the north, but it's basically going east-west. Seriously bright. And then this other more diffuse band kind of following the line of Cygnus, maybe a bit towards the south of Cygnus, over towards the northwest, and it's kicking off in the northwest now as well. Let's turn it around. Oh, look at that. So let's turn that around. Can you see over there? Forget the moon there. Oh, that's good, isn't it? That looks good.